Rob, I saw the news yesterday. Trump, Colorado. What the hell's going on? I know you have a bunch of other stories to follow. Talk to us.
It was a very interesting day in the news. Shane, you follow the news because you write it for BT.com.
That's right.
Tell me what stories you covered yesterday.
Yesterday, the EU did a probe into Elon Musk. The Epstein documents are being unsealed in early January. Trump getting taken off the ballot in Colorado. There are a few others, but...
Okay, two of the three you named that I have here, big stories. The first one, Trump, obviously.
Trump.
Yesterday, a divided Colorado Supreme Court declared former President Donald Trump ineligible for the White House under the U.S. Constitution's insurrection clause and removed him from the state's presidential primary ballot. The decision from a court whose justices, and this is from the AP, were all appointed by Democratic governors, marks the first time in history that Section 3 of the 14th Amendment has been used to disqualify a presidential candidate. Now, it wasn't a unanimous decision. It was a 4-3 decision. What do you guys know about the Insurrection Act?
What's it? No, I don't know about the Insurrection Act. Go ahead.
According to this, where is it? The Section 3 was designed to keep former Confederates from returning to the government following the Civil War. It bars anyone from... it bars from office anyone who swore an oath to support the Constitution and then engaged in insurrection or rebellion against it. And it has only been used a handful of times since the Civil War. It's a big deal to remove him from the presidential ballot, but they even say in this article he lost Colorado during the 2016 election and still won. He doesn't need it, but it sets a dangerous precedent for other courts in the country to then follow suit.
So just two things also to clarify that they have declared him ineligible because of the disqualification under Article 14, subparagraph 3 or Section 3, but they didn't remove him from the ballot. They stayed their own decision until January 4th, which is the day before the names are supposed to be printed on the ballot. And if he appeals to the Supreme Court, their court order is going to be stayed indefinitely pending adjudication by the Supreme Court. So what they've done is actually just issued a ridiculous judgment that they themselves have stayed, which is just going to make headlines for days and might be the first domino that starts falling in other states saying, well, now we've got our hook to hang our hat on, so we can do the same thing here.
Maine is going to decide.
Maine, there's Minnesota. There's New Mexico, I want to say.
A few states already have done cases like this, and their Supreme Court shot them down.
Yes, I have that. The Colorado ruling stands in contrast with the Minnesota Supreme Court, which last month decided that the state party can put anyone it wants on its primary ballot and dismissed Section 3 of the lawsuit. They said that the plaintiffs could try again during the general election. In another 14th Amendment case, a Michigan judge ruled that Congress, not the judiciary, should decide whether Trump can stay on the ballot. So there's precedent against this. Can this set precedent for it?
By all accounts, the most ridiculous decision ever. I've read through it now. I haven't read through the dissent, but you mentioned that, it's 7 Democrat-appointed Democrat judges, and yet 3 of them had a very powerful dissent to say this is not any form of justice or any form of America that I ever knew. So even with 7 Democrat, highly partisan justices, 3 still said this is an outrage.
The Chief Justice himself wrote a dissenting opinion simply stating, well, he has not been convicted of insurrection. So how can this apply to him?
So how can you ban him or attempt to ban him from the ballot for something he hasn't been convicted for in a court of law?
It's a kangaroo court. It's like unbelievable, unprecedented. And the fact that, the right is kind of pissed off. If you are a Democrat, shouldn't this be, you should take a step back, get your foot out of your ass, because I'm tired of this left-right BS. Look at what they're doing with the law because it's an opposition. It's called cheating. I hate when I hear, what's it called, Umberto, when they they got rid of cheating. It's called election interference. No. You're actively cheating because dude, if there's a horse that's in first place and it's getting the lead and you start shooting shit in its leg, you're cheating, bro. You're you're putting obstacles in front of the horse. You're cheating.
As the only suspect that comes from a banana republic, this is too far. I literally come from South America. They don't even do this there. It's absolutely freaking
Did you say you allegedly come from South America?
Yeah, allegedly come from South America.
Nobody knows where the hell he's from.
Keep him off the strip.
Yeah. What are we talking about? He's leading the polls, by far. Everyone loves the guy. They tried the insurrection thing. the whole country doesn't believe the insurrection thing, and they're getting him done to get him out of the race.
Yeah.
Now, I don't mean to ruin next thing if we're going to talk reactions. I think Vivek Ramaswamy was an absolute Chad, like super based.
What he say? What was that? What did he say? I saw the video today.
Well, the guy came out. He was like, if they're not gonna have Trump running in Colorado, take me out of the ballot too. And it was immediate. Like the news came out, and he came out with the statement right away. Most of the time in politics, you get people to try the water, test it. We should wait it out, see how they react.
This was minutes, right?
Minutes. So like
Vivek on stage, reflexively, when they said, "Are you going to support him?" Even if he's indicted, he was the first one up, and he was looking around left and right to shame the others who did it.
100%.
One thing though, just to mention, he hasn't been convicted of insurrection. Nobody has been charged with insurrection.
It's not a thing.
And so the way the majority creative, motivated judges there got around it, well, they say, well, okay, he hasn't been charged with or convicted of. Nobody has. So we're going to take insurrection in a dictionary sense of rising against a government. They have bypassed the criminal element that would be required for insurrection as a crime, and then just gone with a colloquial version to then fabricate the fact that he did it, that he could be subjected to Article 14, subparagraph 3, which he shouldn't be under the law. It's nuts.
And isn't it?
can we go deeper on the definition of this? Like, most of right-leaning people, they have guns, okay?
Yeah.
And if they want to throw over the government, wouldn't they brought their air,
Everybody would have been armed. Well,
everyone be armed. Like, how can you have an insurrection without a plan? Like, an insurrection to throw over the government. They're just sitting there.
Yeah.
They had a tour.
I know, dude, and by the way, that's why it's scary, because, we're a country of laws, and that's what makes us different from all these other countries, because we have the checks and balances. But this is when these sons of bitches use the law, because, bro, like, I'm one of those losers, Dave. Rob, I watch all those House Judiciary hearings and all that shit from Hillary from Benghazi. Everybody's a lawyer, and they're professional bullshit artists that know how to weasel and weave, not answer questions. But bro, if you know the law, you could bend that shit to where it starts to crack and still get away with it. And I think that's the beauty of it. And that's to my point, is say what you want. And this is for everybody out there too. Talk as much shit. If you're a Republican, be pissed off. If you're independent, be pissed off at what they're doing. But guess what? You gotta tip your hat to the Democrats. We talked about it earlier. Tip your freaking hats, because these sons of bitches play to win. And look at their strategy. Can I break it down? 2016, they cheated. The DNC, Hillary Clinton, Russia, collusion with the FBI, Peter Strzok, Lisa Page, all those pieces of shit. James Comey.
The insurance policy.
The insurance policy, exactly. All of them, all those guys, they didn't get away with it. For 4 years, we had to get dragged. The country was in shambles. People, relationships, family members weren't talking to each other. Dragged us into shit. Cut to 2020. They cheated again. They had the FBI again working for them at fucking Twitter, shielding all these stories. No Hunter stories, no Biden, none of that story. Which again, guys, election interference. It's called cheating. Let's all say it together. Cheating. It's cheating. Okay. With COVID, keep everybody home. Vote from home. Then cut to January 6th. They know it's going to happen. Chief of Police Stephen Son gets all the warnings, right, David? All the warnings. He's like, listen, they're giving death threats to my police officers. I want the National Guard. And this is way months before. Denied. Then you had all them shooting tear gas, rubber bullets, Ray Epps inciting a riot. And then now, look at where we are. Say what you want, and they're using it to take out Trump. Brilliant, conniving, evil bastards, and I take my hat off to the Democrats.
There was one thing in the judgment. I don't think the judges realized what they recognized, but well into the judgment of the majority decision, they say how the FBI was receiving tips and threats well in advance. And then they blame it on Trump and say that he didn't respond because he was supervising these federal agencies. FBI was receiving tips that there was going to be a slew of people there that were going to overwhelm the police, and they didn't do anything.
So would you call that an intelligence failure?
It's an intelligence success is what it is. It's an intelligence success.
It's an intelligence ignoring, whatever the hell you want to call it. But dude, it's like, I was in a group text yesterday with my cousin that goes, oh, so you mean to tell me, because this went down and all the group chats start blowing up, oh, you mean to tell me he didn't tell them to, I go, when did President Trump say go and burn the bitch down? And again, every stupid, all these people died. Who died? Where's the insurrection?
Ashley Babbitt shot point blank by Bird.
Shot in the neck. Nothing happened to him.
Roseanne Boyland, who They said died of a drug overdose. That is because they counted her Adderall prescription as a drug. She was, by all accounts, beaten to death.
100% beaten
Brian
to death.
Sicknick, who they said was killed by the Trump. He had a stroke. And then who else? There were some other medical emergencies, but and then a number of cops had committed suicide, which is also very
tragic.
suspicious.
But I mean, they might have known some stuff that they don't want them to talk. Some other guy that worked with Chief's son died mysteriously. But you nailed it. An insurrection. This is what the left is brilliant at doing, Trump. An insurrection meaning guns. They went there like in Batman. What was the Batman with Bane? Well, Rob, where they have their own Congress, their own. None of that happened.
You describe, I don't know, like anarchy, like burning down stores, rioting, looting. That would be more
police stations, court,
burning churches.
Right? Like, to me, that would be
An
an
autonomous
insurrection.
Yeah, an autonomous zone, dude. You understand what an autonomous zone means? Somebody's like that. No. Somebody's building like a base here. We don't do that. But the fact that it was Portland and they were like whatever.